What's pesos without say so? You 9 to 5 on that payroll. I'm about to block, then lay low. Do nothing build unless I say so. Haters all in my rear view. Stacking stars, I got a clear view. Own the ship for that money bag. I'm owning shit, they owning you. Cloud force, ocean view with the cloud shores. Just a view from my kingdom. Staring down at these demons. Lord bless them, they ain't thinking. Trying to reach my sanctum. Murder them all, I'm anxious. Murder them all, I'm anxious. Anxious.
I made $722 last year, making $2,000 a day, motherfucker, I'm real. Take most of that shit out one bid. Watch what I check when I flip another bid. I'ma to the Remedies, I'ma flip some sin. Get it, come back with it, you know what it is. This is the pivot, cause that's really what it is. For real, for real.
We out here on this block, we going hard. For real. Keep that joint to keep my dudes on charge. Real, for real. Shawty working, twerking, bopping hard. Real, for real. Money coming, keep me looking sharp. Real, for real. For 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 real, for real.
Push it up and put it down. That's the really real.
Yo, what's good? What's good, people? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for, I got a lot to say. It's some bullshit in the game going on right now. And we definitely gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna speak my mind on this. Now, let me tell you something. I always said this deal can go one way or another, but my perspective, I was leaning towards it getting approved. Okay. I'm 10 toes down with this, and I'm gonna ride this motherfucker until the wheels fall off. I'm gonna stay on this ship until it goes in the water, okay? So the people on Twitter that's disrespecting me, calling me out, and doing all this shit and all that, you know what I'm saying? It's cool because I'm still here. And I'm gonna still ride it. Y'all gonna get my perspective on what happened today, the news that was announced today, all right? It's some bullshit in the game, and we're going to talk about it. So let me do this before I get going. I'm going to shout y'all out, give y'all due diligence, and we're going to get to rocking because it is some, y'all saw who else, shout out to who else in the chat. It's some bullshit in the game, and we need to talk about it. Who we got in here? Silver Joystick. Laugh Out Loud today is glorious for PlayStation. Yes, it is. Berea was good. Gorilla 1 was good. Warhammer 62 Esports and Gaming was good. St. Patty Matt was up. Enzo was good. Aaron 6200 block. Dre was up. David VGS what's up. Chicken Nat 210 was good. Who else? 22 was good. We got who else we got here? We got Dolo was good. Oscar what's up? We got Elitist Edits. That's a mouthful. Eric 83 was good. Max City Entertainment, one of the baddest bots in the land. MCMC was good. Rashad was good. Spider-Man 356 was good. Floss 951 was good. Long Live the Black Mamba was good. King Reaper 74G was good. Who we got here? We got who was that? Cletus Gaming? I'm trying to see how you got that going. Cletus or something? I don't know what to call you, Cletus Gaming channel, but thank you for the $20, bro. Well, Buck, what's good? A pack of pal. What's good? Luis, what's good? Yes, sir. We're gonna definitely talk about it. Shout out to Jay Rembert with the $2. All eyes on the EU. Not confident, but let's see. Yeah, the EU and China. We're gonna talk about it. We definitely fit to talk about it. Make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all come in. And also share the link out. Let everybody know I'm live, and we fit definitely talk about it. I got a lot to say today. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm disappointed. I am disappointed in this decision. And it doesn't make sense. The decision doesn't make sense at all. And we're gonna get into that. I think some people was hurt. We're gonna look at the facts. their position on why, it is beyond me. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Let me do this. Let me share this out. Let me share this out on Twitter, and then we're gonna get cooking. Let me do this here. Do that. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me see here. All right. Let me do this here. All right, here we go. Okay, so I got that out. Let's see here. Okay. Who else we got? Isaiah, Jeremy Brown was good. We got Frizzle. We got Wabby Better. I'm seeing a lot of new people in here, man. Shout out to y'all. Okay, so let's get started. Let me share my screen first of all, right? Let me pull up a few things here. I definitely want to pull that up because I do want to talk about that. Let me pull, and let me see here. And what is this here? And definitely want to pull this up. All right. So I'm going to share this screen first. Let me go here. Yes, sir. Let me get that off screen. Aaron was good. Six Slayer was good. Let's see here. So let me get this on screen. All right, we're gonna start off with the initial perspective, right? So the CMA, they dropped it via a tweet first before they even updated their website. So that lets you know how how in tune these regulators is trying to become in social media, and they understood the energy that was permeating throughout this whole ordeal through social media, right? So they dropped it there first before they even updated their website. Once it hit Twitter first, then a few minutes afterwards, they updated their website. So they say the Microsoft Activision deal prevented to protect innovation and choice in cloud gaming. Right, the CMA has prevented Microsoft's proposal purchase of Activision over concerns the deal would alter the future of the fast-growing cloud gaming market, leading to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. Okay, all right. So what do we know about the cloud game market? I know Long Live. What do we know about the cloud game market? It's a nascent market. It doesn't even exist. You blocked a deal on what could or might be. It doesn't make sense. Look at this. Let me bring this up. Let me share this. This is from their Twitter. The cloud gaming market is growing rapidly, with the average number of UK cloud gamers tripling between 2021 and 2022. The growth is expected to continue. In comparison, the total, right? The projection suggest UK market for cloud gaming, right? For cloud gaming, look at this, could be worth up to $1 billion by 1 billion by 2026. You call that rapid growth? Could be worth. The total sales of record music in the UK in 2021 amounted to 1.1 billion. So you're saying it could happen, but it also could not happen. So that's what we're doing. Oh, 9 lives. I know it ain't over. I know it ain't over. It depends on what China do and what the EU does. If the EU block, it's over. If the EU approve, if China approve, Microsoft is not worried about FTC. Then I think they'll battle with the CMA and they appeal. But right now I'm unsure about that because I'm unsure if what we're hearing from Activision and Microsoft is just placeholders until they speak with their board and their shareholders. We don't know if the shareholders want to see this thing through or if the Activision shareholders just want to say, you know what, let's get this 2.5 or 3 billion from Microsoft and let's just walk away. So we don't know. I'm asking y'all, the cloud gaming is 2023 right now. Right? Somebody please tell me what innovation and choice are they protecting? Huh? What innovation and choice? Cloud gaming and the success of cloud gaming will be determined by the success of internet infrastructure and the advancement in cellular data infrastructure for high bandwidth. I live in America. We're supposed to be one of the richest companies in the world, and we have some of the trashiest internet infrastructure in the world. What are we doing here? At all, Mac City? What's going on? And look at this. Hold on. Look at this. All right. I believe the CMA was hurt. And I know a lot of people going to clip this. Maybe they was, maybe they weren't. Maybe I'm just in my feelings and I'm just, I just got to get this out. The CMA doesn't like behavior remedies at all, right? And they thought in terms of the console space with the SLC that they had Microsoft and that divestitures would have been on the table. Microsoft made the CMA do something that they only have done once in their entirety. And I think some of the analysts that came out, even some of the outside attorneys that was looking in on this said, in terms of doing the turnaround on the provisional finding, the CMA rather died than have to do that turnaround, but they had to do it because Microsoft brought facts, the paperwork, and the numbers, right? Then Microsoft makes the CMA look like a fool. And they're using this weak-ass cloud market to protect Sony. Now, I feel the CMA been backing Sony since the beginning. From the first phase one finding that was similar to what Sony submitted to Brazil. Then you have the phase two findings, right? And we know the guy who runs PlayStation now, the guy that's under Jim Ryan, the other woman they just all of them from the UK. Buck, I know. I got you, Buck. Hold on, Buck. I ain't overthinking it. That's exactly where we at. They're protecting Sony. They're protecting their hometown players who have been put in position to run PlayStation. Outside of the CEO of Sony, Majority of the people that run PlayStation now is from the UK. We're going to call it like it is. Now, we thought they came to their senses after the provisional, when they had to renege on their provisional findings, phase 2 and phase 1, when they had to renege on all that, when Microsoft gave them the numbers and say, look at the numbers. So they had to remove the console from this equation, and all they had left was cloud. And the reason why we was all so excited and confident that this would get approved is because we knew the cloud market was a nascent market. That it really hasn't formed yet. Right? I mean, there's a lot of people playing it. It has different options and stuff like that, but it's not a major player yet. And you don't know what is going to be over the next 5 or 10 years. Hell, I don't even know what the infrastructure in these countries is going to be over the next 5 or 10 years. But you went ahead and blocked the deal off assumptions pretty much. You pretty much blocked it off what might happen, what could happen. We don't know how successful any of these cloud companies are going to be. We don't know what company going to enter or exit the market. Stadia is a prime example. Google is one of the biggest companies in the world. They came into the market and they exit the market. Not because of Microsoft, because they didn't want to foot the financial bill or take the losses it would have took over the years in order to get Stadia where it needed to be. So let me bring up some other stuff. I don't know. You're protecting innovation because you're saying Microsoft has already got a foothold. Well, that ain't Microsoft's fault. PlayStation was in cloud gaming way before Microsoft. Weren't they? The reason why PlayStation don't have a foothold in cloud is not because of Microsoft. It's because Sony chose to go another direction, and that was VR. Oh, let me bring something. Let me see here. We got a lot to talk about. I am disappointed in this decision. Let me drop that. And then we're gonna read some of this. Right? Look at this. It said it was too limited in scope. For example, it was confined to a model that gave gamers the right to stream Activision games on certain cloud gaming services, provided that gamers had acquired the right to play those games by purchasing them on certain stores or subscribing to certain services. Well, they've been doing that before this acquisition. That's what NVIDIA model is. Now, I know you're saying, so they're saying Microsoft confined, okay, meaning that they confined it to that specific model. So are they saying that Microsoft won't open to other models? Because what they're saying now is something that NVIDIA doesn't have a store. NVIDIA tell their customers to purchase your game from wherever store you purchase them from. Sign up to our cloud service, and you can access our hardware in the cloud. It said it did not cover other business models such as agreements between Microsoft and rival cloud gaming services to include Activision games in these rivals' multi-game subscription services. Okay, multi-game subscription services offer users access to a range of games in return for a monthly payment. So what they're saying is that even though Microsoft came out and said that they'll be willing to allow Sony to put Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus, which is Sony multi-subscription service. Which one?
It doesn't matter.
I don't know where Bessie at. Excuse me, y'all. You got it? All right. All right. So I don't get this. So what they're saying, they wanted to allow it to be on PlayStation Plus. They wanted to allow it to be on Luna, Amazon service. Amazon been pretty quiet in this whole ordeal. Let me see here. Let me get these right quick. Buck with the $2 CMA reason can be used to block any Microsoft gaming deal. Yeah. Then we got ODG Ready For Retirement with the $2. They use cloud as a smoke screen to block for Sony. Yes, they did. Yes. What's good, Web Dave? Shout out to you, brother. Gonna be an amazing show Sunday. We got a lot to talk about. If I'm not mistaken, Microsoft did say, look, if Sony wants to put Call of Duty on their service, they can. We'll allow it. So how did it not cover that business model? Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure in the documentation, Microsoft said it was willing to allow Call of Duty and actually on Sony's PlayStation Plus service. I'm not wrong, right? I did hear Bill come out and say that he has the contract and whatever. We're willing to sit down, renegotiate, rewrite anything that Sony wanted to. Verge Brizzle was good. So how did it not include that business model? Then they go on to say the proposed remedy was not sufficiently open to providers who might wish to offer versions of games on PC operating systems other than Windows. Now, I somewhat agree with this, but I somewhat disagree with this, right? Because Steam, I would say this. I think Microsoft should have allowed this. Because you don't have too many people gaming on Mac and Linux outside of Steam Deck. Steam Deck is a large portion of that, but you already have your games on Steam Store. But I know Steam used Proton, which allow Windows-based games to run in a Linux environment. So are they talking about that, or are they talking about games, Activision games supporting Linux OS outright without needing a container to run or to support it? I need to know more there. We don't buy Macs to game on. Apple hasn't really made a push into gaming on their Mac hardware. Now, in terms of mobile, the iPad and the phone with the you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Apple TV, which run their subscription game service. Yeah. Oh, look at my hold on. Let me show y'all something. I'm not mad. I'm just getting it off my chest, brother. Now look at my brother King Buzz game. Hold on. Hello? Where? Yeah. Hold on, y'all. She always do this. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I had to talk. My lady was going out the door. Now look at my brother King Buzz game. I ain't seen this brother in some months. I text this brother, he don't even reply. I ain't seen him since he don't even respond to my tweets no more. And this supposed to be my brother. And he pop up out of the blue to try to capitalize on this hell of a day for me. Oh man. And he's supposed to be my brother. All right, so let's get back to this. I haven't seen Kobe tweet yet. I will try to post up who will do the development of those games on. That's a good question, Chid. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was trying to understand the context of what they're talking about. Are they saying that they want Microsoft, if they were to acquire Activision, to put Activision in a position for all their games to be developed across multiple operating systems? So, see, that's the other end of it, because Microsoft will have to fund that. And you're telling me to fund access to an operating system that people rarely game on. All right. And then say it will standardize the terms and conditions on which games are available, as opposed to them being determined by the dynamism and creativity of competition in the market, as would be expected in the absence of the merger. I just think some of these regulators are just lost in the weeds. They're just lost in the weeds. And let me do this. Where's the other thing I wanted to talk about? Where is it? Let me see here. All right, I gotta find it. I just think this is weird that you pick one of the weakest markets, right? One of the weakest markets, right? That you don't know what the cloud gaming market is going to formulate into. And from your perspective, you said by 2026, the value of cloud gaming in the UK market could be 1.1 billion. 1.1 billion compared to the gaming market as a whole that's valued at 180 billion right now. That's a very small market. Like, what were they thinking? Even if the UK market were to hit those numbers, because they saying it could, meaning a possibility of it could or it could not. They don't know. They don't know what the cloud market is going to do. But they decide to block this deal off of what might happen or what could happen. And it's crazy because that's the rhetoric that they held throughout the whole process. If you look at the phase 1 finding, if you look at the phase 2 findings, the CMA whole argument was, well, this could, or this would, or this may, or this might. Not necessary substantial factual information to say this is a definite on why. This is a definite on what is going to happen and the reason why it could be blocked. All of their reasons throughout this whole process have been what could, what might, what may. None of their positions against this deal have been definitive. And that's why, from my perspective, why I had high hopes for this deal going through. Right? I know people out there on the internet and on the Twitter and laughing and creating all type of jokes, but I didn't change up. Even in the midst of all other stuff that was happened months ago, the ups and downs and this and that, I still stayed 10-toe down in terms of my belief that this deal would go through, because the only thing that I was concerned about was the SLC in the console market based on what the CMA was saying. But when Microsoft kind of made them look, I wouldn't say foolish, but when Microsoft made them renege on that or made them do a turnabout and remove that, we was even more hopeful, because we knew in terms of the cloud market that it's a very weak market right now. And you don't know what it's gonna turn into. And so we said no regulator will block a deal based on something that they don't have substantial evidence to prove. That no regulator will block a deal based on what might happen or what could happen. But shit, the CMA fooled me. They said, fuck that substantial evidence. Viewmaster said, post up, go play some games, fuck nigga. I do. I just beat Hi-Fi Rush. Go find you some business, bro. Let me rock. Tommy Bull with the $2. This is a travesty, systematic racism against Microsoft. Tommy Bull, you went there. Viewmaster with the $2. You need to be 10 fingers down on playing some games. I know, bro. I know. Keep running that same script. That shit is old, bro. That shit is old, bro. Go find you some kids to play with, brother. You feel me? But that was our stance. Our stance was that no regulator will block a deal based on what might happen or what could happen. That if the deal was going to get blocked, it would have been blocked based on substantial evidence. But the CMA said, look, this could happen. This could happen. The market could be worth this, and it could do this, and it could do that. And if that's the case, then Microsoft is already, well, Microsoft got 60% to 70% of the market already. Why is that? Huh? Why is that? I'm pretty sure that was cloud services that existed way before Microsoft even got into it. Sony was there. Nvidia was there. What happened? Did they not take it? And then they said, hold on, where is it? Hold on. Let me bring this up. Where is it? Give me just a second here. Let me bring that up. Let me go to my, hold on. I'm going to go to my tweet. I think I put out a tweet, if I'm not mistaken. Is this it? Let me see here. Okay, so here are some other reasons. The merger will result in the most powerful operator in the fast developing market for cloud gaming. The most powerful operator? Let me do this here. The most powerful. Microsoft is not even the number one cloud provider. The best overall is Amazon. The most secure is Microsoft. Then you had Google Cloud, then Alibaba Cloud, then IBM Cloud. They're not even number one in cloud. They're not even number one in gaming. So if Amazon is the overall best, wouldn't they be the most powerful? Bro, this shit is crazy. They're not even. Let me come back here, right? With a current market share of 60 to 70%, acquiring a portfolio of world-leading games with the incentives to withhold those games from competitors and substantially weaken competition in this important growing market. Well, they already came out. They was already out here doing deals. They told you they want to go withhold Call of Duty from competitors. What are we doing here? Microsoft proposed a remedy that sought to compensate for the loss of competition with a set of obligations that would regulate its behavior and how it did business for a period of 10 years. But the CMA thought that it would not restore the competitive dynamism, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that would be lost as a result of the merger. The CMA believes that a remedy that preserves competition rather than one that imposes global regulatory oversight is the only effective, proportionate way forward. So basically, the CMA reinforced their disbelief in that behavior remedies can work. That's basically what they're saying. And we've known from the beginning that the CMA doesn't like behavioral remedies, one. And two, that they would have rather Microsoft been in a position to where they would have to divest Call of Duty. That's all they're saying. This will take regulatory oversight for the remedies that was proposed. We don't have the resources or the money or even want or willing to do it, even though Microsoft stated that they will have a third party to oversee it. They just reinforced their dislike for behavior remedies. And since the divestiture wasn't on the table, they decided to block the deal. Oh, your remedies, they're not sufficient, and they will need a regulatory committee to oversee them for the next 10 years. Block. We don't fuck with behavior remedies anyway. And they saying it was too limited. It was too limited in scope. And shout out to Paul Tassi. Paul Tassi says something. He said, yes, the cloud gaming, the 1.72 billion portion of a checks note, $180 billion industry. The size of the VR industry is bigger than cloud right now. It's worth $11 billion. He said, and for people saying they're just being forward thinking about cloud gaming, the field of experts predicting a huge cloud surge also estimated VR will grow to $227 billion by 2029. So he's questioning what the CMA, even if you're assuming that what the VR market going to do, I mean the cloud market, it's not definitive that it's going to do what you think it's going to do. As he said, there was experts who predicted the VR will grow to 227 billion by 2029, and here we are in 2023, and that market for VR is only worth 11 billion. And there's been data out there that suggests that I think up to 40 or 50, I think 60% of VR players who play VR for the first time don't return back to it. Don't even go back to it. Don't even go back to it and play it. So if the analysts got that wrong, because I don't see the VR market doing 227 billion in 6 years. This shit is crazy. Like, hold on, let me get these what's today's before I forget them for they moon. Let me see here. I got Mac City. Okay, Mac City. Mac City Entertainment with the $5. Keep standing on business. Post up. This ain't about no 30 frames per second. CMA has brought bots back together again to fight off these pony demons. This is bullshit. Yeah, it is, bro. Look, I ain't running. I could have signed off Twitter. I could have went ghost. I could have not even streamed or did none of that. I'm here. I ain't running from none of this. I said before, I was 10 toes down, whether you go through or not. Viewmaster 616 with the $2. So post, you only played one game so far in 2023. Damn. Just because I said I beat one game in 2023 doesn't mean I only played one game, bro. Yeah. Viewmaster again with the $2. Post, did you check out Unrecord? Game is so real. Yeah. Unrecord. Yeah, I checked it out. It looked real. A lot of people thought it was fake. Top shotter with the $4.99. Microsoft is going with Plan B and buying majority shares into ABK. 2 months ago, they brought in Morgan Stanley for Activision shares. I think that was Activision who brought in. No, you might be right. I know Activision did too. Brought in a bank. It was rumored that they brought in a bank for Activision. And initially what happens when that happens is either they're preparing to walk away from a deal or they're going to renegotiate the merger agreement. So we don't know which of it is going to be. But I mean, I was kind of speechless reading this. I was kind of speechless when I saw it, because I got all the regulatory pages up and I refreshed the page and I didn't see none. And then I go on Twitter and I see somebody retweeted what the CMA said. And I'm like, dang, I thought it was a fake account at first. Let me do this. Let me go here. Let me go back to my account. Where is it? Okay. That's that. And where is it? Okay. So I think it's right here. Right here. The CMA said the deal will solidify Microsoft's advantage in the market by giving it control over blockbuster games, Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. The watchdog found that without the merger, Activision will be able to start providing games on cloud platform. But Activision told y'all they wasn't putting no damn games on cloud. That's why during the GeForce beta, Activision allowed all that shit for the beta. And soon as that GeForce Now went live, they removed all of their games. Activision came out and told y'all they didn't rock with subscription services and shit like that. And cloud or none of that. Who's gonna play another thing? Who's gonna play competitive Call of Duty on cloud? Who's gonna play World of Warcraft on fucking cloud? This shit don't make no sense. It really don't. It don't make no sense. Activision came out, Bobby Kotick came out and gave you his stance on subscription services as well as cloud. They don't rock with them. They don't rock with it. That's why they haven't been on there. And now you turn around. Yo, they had to come up with something though, right? They had to come up with something though, right? Game Pass is going to be everywhere. What are you talking about? Tommy Boy say, y'all was talking about Game Pass being everywhere. Now, who wants to play it on cloud? Tommy Boy, from my recollection, that was one of the arguments the ponies brought up throughout this whole ordeal. Who want to play Call of Duty on cloud? And matter of fact, I spoke with, well, I ain't gonna tell you who I spoke with, but I spoke with someone that said it will be years. It will be years. Even if Microsoft would have acquired Call of Duty, that it would be years before it would have been put on cloud, at least from Microsoft perspective, because they said that the technical prowess behind it is just not there right now. And I think they was talking about in terms of the consumer and the gameplay. Call of Duty is a fast Twitch-based shooter. The only cloud service I think that will probably have no issues with running it is GeForce Now, because they got fucking 490s in the cloud. But you still have an issue if a customer don't have the proper internet. You still will have latency issues and all that. All of that still is an issue. They still haven't figured out latency or none of that. But yeah, I spoke with someone. I asked that question about COD being on cloud. Said it'll be years, but it'll be years before that happened because of the technical issues that come along with that. Because you wouldn't get the same COD experience that you get via hardware on cloud. The CMA is not making any sense. They're not making any sense. And I just think they're using this weak-ass market as an excuse to block since Microsoft got over on them in the console space. And they couldn't challenge them there. And the reason why this is a shock to myself and probably all the people that was rooting for this and that was saying it's going to get passed, because no one would have thought, maybe Moss. I got to give my brother Moss, even though me and him was going back and forth in the DM, he's a cloud head. He was the only one that kind of brought this perspective up. But outside of that, no one believed that they will block this deal over this weak ass market that's nascent and that haven't even evolved into anything, and we don't even know what it's going to evolve into. Aaron, I will say this. This is where we're at with the deal, right? And I'm going to do it in terms of the regulatory bodies that matter, the approvals that they need that matters, right? The merger agreement states Microsoft needs the approval from 4 regulatory bodies, not 3, but 4. That's the United States and FTC. The FTC doesn't approve deals. They don't approve deals. They just decide whether they're going to block or just step out the way. In this case, since the EU at the time, the EU and the UK hadn't made that decision, the FTC took it to their internal courthouse, to their administrative judge, right? Because they wanted to wait to see what the UK and the EU was going to do before taking it in front of a federal judge to file an injunction, right? This kind of changed the dynamics of that case, right? And this is why I'm kind of skeptical on Microsoft and Activision staying in this, because you're going to be battling on 2 fronts. You're going to be battling on 2 fronts. And they will have to make their decision based on the shareholders. It's all come down to the shareholders, whether they feel the money is worth it to continue to fight this, or if they just should, take their spoils and run. Okay. So we know the FTC wants to block it, but they haven't filed the injunction to block it. All right. The EU decisions comes May 22nd. But if you look at prior cases with the EU, their decisions have always come way earlier than their final due date. So I think we might hear from the EU early next month in May. I don't think we're going to have to wait to the latter part of May to hear from the EU. Now, depending on what the EU do in terms of their decision, will determine if Microsoft and Activision decides to fight this and file that appeal with the competition tribunal. All right. I do think the statements that they put out today are just hold statements, right? I do think they have to go back to their boards and to their shareholders to figure out what they're going to do. Now, if the EU decides to fall in line with the decision that the CMA made in Block 2, then it's over. Microsoft is not going to try to fight the FTC, the EU, and the CMA at the same damn time. It's over. Blow it up. Get Activision a 2.5 or they 3 billion. That's if we make it to the June 18th deadline to where that 3 billion comes into play, because that's going to be a deciding factor as well too. Microsoft know right now that if they was to walk away from this, that they owe Activision 2.5 billion. So I know they're going to go back to their board. Do we fight this? Do we go beyond the final date, which is June 18, and owe another $500 million? Okay. So if the EU blocks, then it's over. GG, good game, right? If the EU agrees and approves it, they got some wiggle room. Right? And I think their attention is focused on the EU to see where they're at. You also have China. China is a part of the merger agreement as well. So the US, the EU, the UK, and China. China was more than likely needed a merger agreement because at the time, Activision operating in China before that NetEase deal blew up. I'm kind of iffy on that happening as well too now, given the political climate the U.S. and China is in right now, right? You have NetEase suing Blizzard for $40 million right now over this whole ordeal, right? The political tension with the United States and China right now doesn't help it either. And China intentionally is slowing up the process. Now we know Microsoft and the Chinese government and the press in the past have been on good footing. I don't know how long that's going to take them, how far that's going to take them. But I will say this: if they can get approval from China and the EU within the next month, before June, then Microsoft fights the CMA. They fight the CMA. If they get EU approval and they get China approval, they fight the CMA because I don't think they too concerned about the FTC. Now, I know some of the questions that y'all might have is, will the CMA decision raise any concerns with the judges in the United States? I will say no. The CMA did that for their consumer base in their market, right? That's how they felt about their consumers. It's not necessarily mean the judges in the United States, the federal judge in the United States, is going to look at it the same as the CMA based on the United States market and United States consumers. Okay, you can have two totally different outcomes, but I believe if China approves, if the EU approves, Microsoft is going. I think Microsoft and Activision will see some light there. I think the board and the shareholders will be more willing to fight for it because in the United States, they can still close and force the FTC to court, right? Which Microsoft already said they feel as though they have a winnable battle. And then based on the decisions that the CMA made in terms of this cloud market, I think if they do go to the competition tribunal, they have an opportunity to win. It might be, well, not necessarily win, because even if they win the appeal, it still goes back to the CMA, and then Microsoft and the CMA have to go back to the table and do some renegotiations, right? So that's where we're at with this. That's where we're at with this. Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man. That's why I say I'm kind of unsure. But I know for sure if the EU blocks, it's over. I think if China blocks, I might consider it over as well too, unless they go back and renegotiate the merger agreement to exclude China, since since all of their games have been removed from China due to the NetEase issue and being sued by NetEase and that fallout there. They removed all of their stuff from China. So currently they're no longer in that market. So you can renegotiate the merger agreement, possibly. I'll have to reach out to Hogs, Law, and a couple of other people. Exclude China from there. If the EU approve, you go with that. You close in the United States and try to see if the FTC is going to take you to a court or not, and then you try to battle it out with the competition tribunal and see what you can do there in terms of going back to the table if you win the appeal to renegotiate with the CMA in terms of what's going on. So this can go all the way into 2024, possibly 2025. But if you do that, the longer it goes on, the more money you spend on lawyers and things like that. And we got to be willing to see if Activision and Microsoft is willing to continue to foot the bill to try to get this deal done. Frizzle, it has taken way too much time. It has taken way too much time. Based on the facts, we all thought, including myself, we thought it was going to be easy peasy. I ain't going to lie. Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Well, it could. I got to see how long the meta thing I got to see how long that took. Let me see here. Let me see here. I got to see how long that took. Oh, did they even appeal? I got to see if they even appealed. I got to look into that. And then I got to get some additional information. Right now, I'm just going off my initial reaction. I am very disappointed. Let me see. I miss who else? I miss Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy with the $2 Activision game still coming to Xbox. It's all good. Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, they're still coming to Xbox, and they were still going to go to PlayStation regardless. You know, I was just really, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. Look, I ain't gonna sugarcoat. I was really rooting for this deal. I really wanted it to, to go through. But we got to see how all of this is going. My bad, man. I booted myself out of my own stream. This is crazy. I booted myself out of my own stream, man. But yeah, we got to see how all of this. We got to see how all of this plays out. We got to see how all of this plays out. Spider-Man, I know Meta got approved, but I think in terms of the UK, the CMA forced them to divest Giphy. They had to divest Giphy, if I'm not mistaken. They had to divest. And I think that's what the CMA want to hear. It was either divested or not or blocked. And we all knew that Microsoft wasn't willing to divest Call of Duty because it played a pivotal role in terms of what they wanted to do with mobile. You got COD Mobile, you got Diablo Immortal, you got the other joint Candy Crush and things like that. So it played a pivotal role in what they wanted to do with their mobile. So they weren't going to be willing to let go on Call of Duty. Paul, I think they just used cloud as an excuse to block it. They was with Sony the whole time, in my opinion. Yes, I do believe this is nonsense. This is fucking nonsense. A market that's valued at 1.7 billion right now. Damn, that's like 1%. You blocked the deal over a 1% market share? That's if my math is mathing. That shit is crazy. That is crazy. Concessions, yeah, they wanted to, and I knew this from the beginning because IDAS over at Reset Era, he said earlier when all of this was being announced and we figured it out, and when everything got rolling, IDAS said that the CMA does not like behavioral remedies. They do not like them at all. And this goes to show that they don't. They took Sony off the table, and y'all still think this is Sony. Wow. They never took Sony off the table because Sony had issues not only in the console space, but in cloud as well, the Ruham. And the reason why they're probably saying it is that in the console space, Sony told the CMA and every other regulator that Microsoft will harm them with the ability to mess with parity, raise prices, and things like that. Right? The CMA comes back in the cloud sector and say, look, yeah, we know Game Pass is good for our consumers and things like that, but we think this will incentivize Microsoft to raise the price of Game Pass soon as this merger goes through to compensate for the money they just spent, huh? I'm just telling you what they said. That's the same thing they said in the console space. That Sony said in the console space. And that the CMA was agreeing with. Now you come over to cloud and say, okay, well, since we can't get them in the console space, well, they could raise prices again. And Microsoft told you, they told the regulators that they won't go raise the price of Game Pass. They told them they wouldn't. And guess what? Regulators, when the regulator approves something or doesn't block anything, at any point, at any time, they can, excuse me, at any point or any time, they can go back and revisit that case. Even if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the line. Right? Say if the FTC approved it, right? Microsoft said, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, the FTC said Microsoft doing the opposite of what they said. FTC can revisit that case and say, okay, you didn't abide by what we asked you to do off the bam, and shit back on the table. So it doesn't make sense. Tank, what's good? Tank, what's up? Yeah, Windows has nothing to do with this, though. They're using Windows and Azure as a means to, we're talking about, when we speak on cloud gaming, xCloud doesn't run on Windows PCs. And it doesn't use Azure. It doesn't use Azure at all. It uses the facility that Azure houses its data center in, but it doesn't use Azure. It's a bespoke network that's ran off Xbox Series X consoles. They get to talking about Windows and OSs and all that. Windows is the dominant OS in terms of where people game at. That's why I believe Microsoft should have said, okay, yeah, we'll allow, but who foots the bill for that? If we allow these games to be accessible by these other operating systems, who fits the bill for that? So you saying that we gotta pay to develop for Macs and Linux OS and all that stuff? Our competitors? Shout out to my brother J Dub. He feeling real good right now. He feeling real Kratos right now. He been chopping me up in the DM, calling me out in there and everything. This is a glorious day for him. I'm just saying that this was a weak argument. They chose a weak sector to try to me, from the get-go, even from the phase 1 finding, they already had intention not to cooperate. They weren't going for it regardless. And since they couldn't block it in the console space, they used this weak-ass cloud market to do it. Shout out to my brother Kratos for the $2. I'm just here to laugh and gloat. Happy Xbox survive. Hope Xbox survive. Y'all been saying that for the last 30 years, bro. Y'all been saying that for the last 30. Kratos, so I gotta ask you, Kratos, is Xbox still getting out the hardware business? Huh? Is they still going third party? Shout out to Tommy Bull with the $2. 2 months extra Game Pass on me, brother. Crazy time. My brother Buck with the $5. Concerned about COD and Warcraft Overwatch now. Post this was poison pill to CMA and other regulators to block this in any future merger. Yeah, did you notice that, Buck? It's been about Call of Duty this whole time. This whole time, it has been nothing about Call of Duty, and now they're concerned about World of Warcraft and Overwatch. The lies you tell. The lies you tell. I peeped that, bro. I peeped that. They ain't really been concerned about other Activision content. This whole time, it was about Sony and how COD and how Microsoft owning COD would impact Sony. This whole entire time, now they want to come with this weak-ass cloud excuse and say we're concerned about COD, World of Warcraft, and Overwatch. Y'all ain't saying shit about World of Warcraft and Overwatch, really. Xbox is going to be shut down in a few weeks. I hate you, fuck nigga. Let me tell you something. I hate you right now. I hate you. Go take your ass to sleep. Sign off the internet. Leave me alone. I'm gonna let you rock though, bro. I know you finna go. Oh man. Hey. Well, Microsoft stock isn't dropping, but Activision stock is dropping. We'll see. All Microsoft had to do was remove COD per CMA request, but no, they ain't gonna do that. It would have been dumb. That was pivotal to what they was trying to do in the mobile sector. Hey, I might have to get one of my snipers to snipe your ass about this chat. You ain't finna keep gloating and messing with me. I done heard it's been rough listening to you, Moss, Chris, and Z in the DM. Z done tweeted about me 20 times this morning. This man done made 20 tweets about me this morning. This shit is crazy. 20 tweets, Kratos. He done made 20 damn tweets about me. Crazy. Man said did all that disrespect to me calling me out my name. Now he happy because he finna run up his content. His content for the next two weeks is gonna be about me. Z content for the next 2 weeks is gonna be about Post Up. Shout out to John TJ with the $2. Screw the UK pullout. It ain't that simple. But Microsoft did make a bold statement. Let me show you the statement that they made. Where is it? Where is it? Let me see here. So the Activision said the CMA reports contradicts the ambitions of the UK to become an attractive country to build technology businesses. We will work aggressively with Microsoft to reverse this on appeal. The report's conclusions are a disservice to UK citizens who face increasingly dire economic prospects. We will reassess, listen to this, we will reassess our growth plans for the UK. Global innovators, large and small, will take note that despite all its rhetoric, the UK is cleared and closed for business. That says a lot. And guess what? Microsoft came out and said the same thing, that they're going to reassess their growth plans in the UK. What that might look like, what they had that was supposed to be there, because I know they had an event going on today that Microsoft was supposed to be at on Downing Street, on 10 Downing, if I'm not mistaken. Did Microsoft show up? Did they leave after they found the news? Or did they even show up to the event? The future plans for Microsoft in terms of building new studios or doing things outside of gaming in terms of Windows and Azure and all that, does that get pulled back? Do big tech back Microsoft and slow down plans or whatever plans they had in UK to try to hurt them from an economics perspective? I know you're saying you're wilding right now, but I'm just saying I don't know what it means. So I'm just trying to throw some things out there. It's a wait and see approach. Shout out to my brother J Dub with the $2. CMA said canceling ABK deal is good for the gamer, for their gamers, for their market. But we'll see. Onyx with the $2. CMA UK is digging his own graveyard because big tech. Yeah. That's what I want to know when they say that. Is Bobby Kotick telling his partners, his business partners, the big tech companies that they know, Microsoft, the big tech companies that they know, are they telling them that the UK is closed for business, meaning don't go there, don't set up shop? I know that sounds kind of weird. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying, is it a possibility that we'll just have to see how this play out over the next couple of years or two, depending on if they appeal or not, or if they both walk away? Yeah, this is a shock. This is a shock because no one, including myself, and I'll take the L on this. No one, including myself, thought that they will block this deal over a weak ass cloud market that is non-existent and that they are not even sure that it will be worth 1 billion, just 1 billion, not 2, 3, 4, 5, not 10 billion, not 11, not the 227 billion value that the other analysts came up with for VR. They said by 2029 that cloud gaming will be worth 1 billion. The market in the UK will be worth 1 billion. Wow. And so they're protecting that. Wow. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Right? I don't see it. Because if you look at NVIDIA, they will probably have a bigger market cap if they had access to Call of Duty. if they had access to Microsoft IPs, because that's their issue. That was Google's issue. Google didn't have access to Microsoft IPs or Sony IPs. They didn't have access to Activision IPs. Imagine Google with that 10-year Microsoft deal being able to have access to Xbox games on a service along with Call of Duty and Activision. Stadia be strong as hell right now, given how superb that tech was. So I want to know, my question would be to the CMA, what other company that's going to come in, right? That's going to come in and be dominant or be successful in that market without the help of an Activision, of a Sony, or Microsoft. Because as far as I know, what other cloud service is Fortnite on? Huh? Let me see here. So I brung up. Okay, all right. Let me see here. Okay, so it's on. It's on. So Fortnite is on Xbox Cloud, is on xCloud, and is on GeForce Now. That's all I see it on. Let me see here. No. It's Fortnite playable on any cloud gaming service? Check today. Fortnite is available on Boosteroid, GeForce Now, Shadow, Air GPU, and Xbox Cloud. Fortnite is not available on Amazon Luna, Black Nut, and PlayStation Now. Okay. Okay. But I'm saying, what other cloud service is going to come in without the IP catalog of a Sony or Microsoft? Why you think NVIDIA turned the table so fast? Why you think NVIDIA turned the table so fast? Because they knew they was getting access to Activision games and Xbox PC games. How many cloud services are going to come up and be successful with offering what other cloud services already have? And then what's going to, outside of the tech, in terms of content-wise, if they're not publishing, creating their own game, what's going to separate them from cloud platforms that already exist, that's already doing what they're doing? What's going to grow the cloud market is content. And majority of the content that people love playing is either on Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo. So once again, what are you protecting? In terms of innovation, what are you protecting? Innovation in the tech? Because in order to be successful in that market, you're gonna need more than innovative tech. Google showed you that. Google had the best streaming platform outside of GeForce Now. That shit was instant. 1080p, 60 frames, 4K, all that shit. That shit played like 1-to-1. But they didn't have the content to back it up. I just... Hey, Shadow, I do agree with that. I said that. Hey, I said that earlier. And I know a lot of people might not agree with me, but majority of the people who run PlayStation now are from the UK. Jim Ryan on down, Herman Host, all of them are from the UK. And you best believe me, because I would do it. The same way Microsoft is pulling strings in Congress to make the Senate and the Congress aware of what's going on in terms of the market and all that. The same way I would assume that Sony's been over there working their numbers to get shit done over there. That's their home turf. I wouldn't put it past them. PlayStation is pretty won by UK. As it stands now, Microsoft Gaming Division has 70% of cloud gaming industry, with the deal they called have 90% of the cloud gaming industry just by buying Activision. Well, Alizé, well, what you would have to do is ask yourself, why do they have that big of a chunk? Why do Microsoft have that big of a chunk of the cloud industry? So you concerned about Microsoft having 60 to 70% of the cloud market and running away with it, but you weren't concerned about Sony and its market dominance. Make it make sense. Even though I know Sony is not on trial, but they've been in this. Chris, stop crying. You were wrong. Go play. Don't nobody listen to you, Chris. Thank you for the $2, though. Don't nobody listen to you. You tweet yourself, brother. You tweet yourself. Sony has about 70% of the global market. Tommy boy. Sony has about 70% of the global market. It's like 70-30 between them and Microsoft. Nobody has a problem. But and Sony is even more dominant in UK. But the CMA is concerned about Microsoft in the fucking cloud market. Like, this shit is funny as hell. This shit is funny as hell. Sony dominates in the UK, has a large lead, has a large market cap over Xbox. The CMA ain't concerned or worry about that. You got 60 to 70% of cloud, though, so we concerned. Huh? This shit is weird. This do not look. Whether you for the deal or against it, I'm not knocking you. I don't knock nobody that was against it. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock. I thought I had a strong case of this going through. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had a strong case of this going through. And then you had people who was against it that had a strong case on why it wouldn't go through. You know what I'm saying? I took the L today on this one. But this shit just is weird. And if you don't see how weird it is, then it's crazy. It's crazy. This shit is weird. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Look at this. And see, they going back. Look. 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 Hold on. They going back to it. The same and this is Sony argument because Sony told the CMA in the regulators that Call of Duty couldn't run on Nintendo, and that was their basis for separating Microsoft and Sony and excluding Nintendo, said it was a family console and it shouldn't even be involved. Now look at this shit. They're going back to this. Right? Now going back to this, the UK CMA also appears to have called out Microsoft for offering COD to Nintendo, saying they have seen no evidence from Microsoft or Activision that Call of Duty can actually run on Nintendo consoles as of now. Let me show you how janky this shit sounds. COD is currently available on 2 gaming consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. We found that these consoles compete closely with each other in terms of content, target audience, and console technology. We found that Nintendo consoles compete less closely with either of Xbox or PlayStation, generally offering consoles with different technical specifications, and with most popular titles tending to be more family and child friendly. Nintendo does not currently offer COD, and we have seen no evidence to suggest that its console would be technically capable of running a version of COD that is similar to those in Xbox and PlayStation in terms of quality of gameplay and content. And you ain't allowed them to. How they gonna show you something? They can't force Activision to make a version of Nintendo because they don't own Activision. What the fuck are you talking about? That's the shit. Yo, shout out to Alcoholic Gamer with $2 cranberry Sprite and a Fireball. Enjoy drinks on me. Shout out to Alcoholic Gamer. If you check it out, drink responsibly. Don't drink while driving. But Alcoholic Gamer, since the last show, been popping up, dropping jewels on drinks to create and chill that taste good. That's a good question. Why would Nintendo take the deal? Also, the deal wasn't just about the Switch. It was about Nintendo platform. Meaning that a new iteration or a new system of Nintendo can come out that can be well equipped to run the Call of Duty. This shit don't. That's why I say this shit is weird. They tried everything in their power to block this motherfucking deal. And they blocked it over some stupid shit. Why would Nintendo take a deal of having COD if their user base had no way of playing it? Can somebody answer that question for me? Why would Nintendo sign a 10-year deal with Microsoft if their user base had no way of playing it? Make it make sense. Huh? Do this here. Okay. Just a second here. All right. Can somebody can somebody make it make sense? The shit is not adding up. The shit not adding up. It makes no sense at all. And I'm pretty sure that 10-year deal wasn't just for the Switch. And I'm pretty sure the Switch is not just a family device. It's a lot of mature rated games on the Switch. I think it's like over 400. Shit, hell, Resident Evil is on the motherfucking Switch. How is it family oriented? Hey, Tommy boy, hey, look, I got to get this shit off my chest. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can make fun of me. I know people going to make fun of me. I know they're going to meme. They're going to laugh. They're going to do what they do. That's all good. It comes with the game. It comes with social media. You know what I'm saying? I went out there. I presented myself as saying, look, this shit is going through. So that's what happens when you say something is going to happen and it don't happen or come to fruition. People going to run with it. They're going to create narrative, story, memes, laugh, this, call you out your name. That shit, I don't let that shit bother me. I'm just saying this shit makes no sense. This whole ordeal makes no motherfucking sense. It doesn't at all. Say it again, Tommy boy. Say it again. He always. It just don't make no sense. I don't know what to see. The CM they reaching. Yeah, they are reaching. They are reaching. And I got to go through this some more. Let me do some here. Let me go here. Let me do this here. I got to look through some stuff here. Let me see this. What's her name? Give me just a second here. Oh, that's that one I'm on. Okay. Yeah, it just don't make no sense to me. Yes, sir. Let me see here. And let me do this here. Let me see here. Give me just a second here. Do that. I'm looking for something. Where was it? This is just a weird day, man. I just wanted to speak my piece on this whole process because I still got to go through the final determination on this and see what all they wrote. But so far, this shit is weird. Shout out to Silver Joystick with the $4.99. Salute to Post for being honorable and accepting what comes with the game. We will be laughing at Microsoft heavily today. Look. It's what comes with it, Silver. I can't need cap. I've been upfront with my tweets, my posts, my videos, and things like that. I am disappointed, but I already knew what comes with it. I knew from the jump that if this didn't go through, that, you know, people would mean, make fun, joke, disrespect, do all that stuff. They've been doing it way before the decision came. So I don't think it would have stopped even after this. If the decision was something different. So it comes with it, bro. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, Z for the next 2 or 3 weeks, probably for the rest of the month, all the way into June, the nigga finna be talking about me every show, and you might see a meme of me on every show sitting in the background. Shit crazy. Shout out to Manhattan. What's good, brother? This is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I asked that question on Twitter. I said, why wouldn't Nintendo sign a 10-year deal with Microsoft if the user base had no way of playing it? Kratos gonna put, because Nintendo doesn't have to do anything. It's up to Microsoft to show and prove. Well, Microsoft doesn't own Activision, so how could they prove it? Huh? This shit wild, man. I can't believe they blocked this on a non-existent market, a market that barely exists in their own country, in a market that they're projecting to be worth, that could be worth only $1 billion in market value in the UK by 2029. And you blocked over that small ass piece of shit, even though the gaming market is worth 180 billion and is looking to be upwards of close to 250 to a $500 million in value within the next 5 years, and you're trying to protect $1 billion of cloud value that may or may not happen. One punch, I know it ain't over. It depends. It's looking bleak though, and it all depends on what the European Commission gonna do. If they side with the CMA, then we got an issue. But I know more than for a fact that the same remedies or concessions that Microsoft offered the CMA, they more than likely offer to the European Commission as well. Now, would the European Commission have the same outcome as the CMA? I don't think so. Because the European Commission already hinted at, threw some shots at the CMA. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. But yeah, this shit is weird. I would have never thought in a million years that they will block this merger over a nascent market. Cloud gaming is more niche. Rashad, cloud gaming is more niche. As I stated earlier, the cloud gaming market right now is only valued at 1.72 billion. The VR market is valued at 11 billion. Though analysts predicted that the VR market will reach 227 billion by 2029. And it's only worth 11 billion now, and we're in 2023. I don't see the VR doing 227 billion. I just don't see it reaching 227 billion by 2029. I don't see it. I don't see it. Now with all the statistical data that's coming out showing that after people initially play VR headset, they don't come back to it. I think it was like 40 to 60% of VR players who buy VR and play it for the first time don't come back to it because that initial shock value is over. Then why did Xbox invest in cloud over VR? Because I do think the cloud market is going to take shape at some point, right? Over the next 10 to 15 years. I do think it's going to take shape in some point. Microsoft is in this for the long haul. Number one. Number two, they have the infrastructure and they have the resources to, to do it over the long haul, even if it meant taking losses and stuff like that. If you look at the recent numbers, remember Microsoft, the numbers came out about how the cloud numbers wasn't that big on Microsoft in terms of I think that was user data. I gotta find it, but it wasn't good. I think that information came out during this whole regulatory process. But the cloud ain't gonna go nowhere until the infrastructure in these countries. Well, at least in America. At least in America. Because let me tell you something. I got 5G. I got T-Mobile right now, and I got 5G on my phone. And depending on where I'm at, that shit work and it don't work. Then you got some parts of the city where it's dead zones that you wouldn't expect. Like I was in a Jules parking lot where my signal was just so the cellular data infrastructure and the internet infrastructure, and then the latency issues and all of that stuff is going to have to get fixed over the next 5 or 10 years in order for it to do what it needs to do. Yeah, this is just a big middle finger to big tech. Master Sip 40 with the $2. Microsoft will fight in the courts. Deal will continue. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna foreshadow anything in terms of that. I say I have to wait and see what the EU is going to do and what China is going to do. If China and the EU give the green light, they fight. If they don't, if Microsoft, and I'm pretty sure that's what Microsoft focus is right now. They're trying to see what EU and China are going to do, because if they show any signs of replicating the decision that the CMA made today, they're gonna walk. They're gonna walk. Legendary with the $2. The captain I saw you do today, boy. Hey, I'm giving my honest opinion, Legendary. I'm giving my honest opinion. I just don't. Look, you have people who agree with the decisions that was made today by the CMA. That's cool. I don't agree with the decision, and I'm just giving my perspective on why I don't agree with the decision. To say that's cap is, I could call y'all agreeing with the decision cap. So, I'm just saying this shit doesn't make sense. If you sign a 10-year deal that's binding with Nintendo, that will means Microsoft will have to set aside the resources to develop a quality Switch port or whatever the next Nintendo hardware is going to be, that they will have to set aside the resources and the developers to make that happen, because that contract is binding. But to sit up here and say Microsoft hasn't produced evidence, no, they haven't. They don't own Activision. They don't own Call of Duty. And right now, the person that owned Activision chose not to make a Nintendo version. It doesn't make any sense, Legendary. With the $5, thank you, brother. Let me tell y'all something. This is my rich UK brother. You know what I'm saying? This is my Richie Rich UK brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know. No, you in Europe though. You in the EU, right? Legendary. I'm putting you in the UK. I think you in Europe though. Microsoft will need to make big concessions to get this deal through. I do not agree with it, but Sony paying for CMS is cap. It's cloud. MS did the same with AI. You in the UK, Legendary? I think Legendary in the UK. Yeah, Legendary in the UK. So he happy. He happy right now. He happy right now. Talking about protecting his ass. His ass ain't worrying about no damn cloud game. Legendary, you don't even play cloud games. You don't even play on cloud. What they trying to protect you for? There's some shit. Look, man, I'm about to get on out of here, man. Motherfucking Legendary gonna pop up. Knowing he from the UK on his UK bullshit. I've been streaming long enough, man. I said my piece. State of Gaming gonna be this weekend on Saturday. I think we're doing a collabo with We Bleed Green, so that's going to be very interesting. I'm also doing K Asante and my brother Everborn Saga podcast Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So make sure y'all tune in with that. Then on Sunday, I'm doing Web Dave's podcast. Make sure y'all tune in there. It's going to be a busy week. I'm going to be doing podcasts. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me see here. I think Boom got a podcast today. I think he wants me to pop up on that later. It's gonna be a busy week and a weekend for me in terms of shows and podcasts and things like that. But I'm gonna try to oh man, it's gonna be tough, man. Let me see. Oh, look at my brother. You see how he got y'all. He started out with the $2, then the $5. Now you up on 10. I love seeing them colors though. I ain't gonna need lie Legendary. I love seeing them colors though. He say jump on Plan B Discord. I disagree with the block. If you can, I'll jump in Plan B soon after I leave here, which I'm finna wrap this up. But yeah, I disagree with this block, man. I think their arguments hold no water, and I hope Microsoft contest this with the competition tribunal and see if something can get worked out where they can overturn it, because this shit don't make no sense. Some of the shit this shit is ludicrous, bro. I'm not sad. Top Dog 2K17. I ain't seen you in here in a minute. A new report indicates that the People's Republic of China is likely to approve Microsoft. If they do, that will be more enticing for Microsoft to get to fight the CMA. We'll see, man. I'm not sad though. I'm just disappointed. I'll say that. I'm not saying I wasn't emotionally involved in all of this, and so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see where it goes, man. I'm not emotionally involved. I'm not for the crowd or boo-hoo or do none of that. I just gave my perspective on how I felt about it, and then we'll go from there. But I do disagree with this assessment. their reason for blocking is bullshit. The market that they chose, because the cloud market was the only market that they had left, is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And I don't know how they expected Microsoft to prove that Call of Duty can run on Nintendo Switch and they don't even own. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And to say that Activision can put their games on cloud without Microsoft, when Bobby Kotick already came out and said he don't fuck with subscriptions or cloud, that they had no intentions. They already came out and told you the only reason why they was doing that is because they was being acquired by Microsoft. Hey, look, to each his own. If you're happy about the outcome, salute to you. I know a lot of people was concerned about this. So if y'all was worried about it, salute to you. If you was against it, salute to you as well. It's just, as far as the Xbox community, we're going to have to fight for our lives these next couple of days and weeks ahead, because the pony community is finna go fucking crazy. I'm just letting y'all know. I'll be in there in a minute, man. I'm finna wrap up, man. Thank y'all for coming through. I had like over 150 people watching and stuff like that. So thank y'all, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna get on out of here. Oh man, have a good one. I'm gonna see y'all on Twitter. I might pop up later for another show, or with the guys Mello and Noah, get their take on it. But we out, all right?
Ted, pop your shit.
Man over madness, grand over habit. We never had it. Check off the box on the bag list. Now we established from the block to the palace. Usage and salvage. Now we about it. Traveling thousand. Rich or poor, we breaking the balance. Wanted change to that the ballot. Didn't get a thing, so I still with my talent. Up in the clouds, collecting the mileage. Soon we hit land, we up at the challenge. Dodging anything that's bringing us malice. Got hit in the cup, can't sip from that chalice. Trying to see life from a different view. Checking all sides, my peripheral. We up now, and that's the pinnacle. The inner you. Eyes stuck on the inner tube. Perception got them in V2. They all gas like an inner tube. Took a small break, just an interlude. Now we in the groove. Took a couple losses, we was 10-2. Before the turn, it was 10-2. Got it hand over hand like we 10-2. Cause when you down and out, they don't pin you. Still we made it. From the land where they take that, they don't play fair. Lost a lot of niggas, fell off with niggas, I don't really care. Hell with them now, whether tried to fail with them now. So we out here until we out of here, looking up now, past the stratosphere.
Came a long way, I was eating cereal, sell as fuck. Couple OT shields back to back, that was 12 a month. Seeing pain often got me asking, nigga, what the hell you want? Rather pay up front before I pay up front. You could say I didn't, never say I won't. Fast forward, that's crash course. I was broke, unattached headboard. Used to laugh at me, life was comical. We up now, astronomical. Our lowest points was a plateau. Blessed after being back dope. We was on the business and it went sour. We still made it, that's a different power. Gotta watch your 6 when they owe you 20. Every day I smile through the horribles. Oracles telling me I got a few minutes. It was a quarter to vulnerable visions. I'm making it out of it. Portable audibles. Pardon me, possibly. Circle with smallest apostrophes. Making monopolies out of these lyrics. Commodities, obviously. Welcome to the deli. Felonies he called allegedly. Fuel for the fire, especially. It was the recipe. Open sesame. All this pain never overstressing me. God did. He was over testing me. Get a lesson, never get a lesson me. Back to business cause he over blessing me. That's the term.